So, welcome back, and you have my 5 different fashion heads with different sets of hair on there, different styles. I'm going to go through a couple different little things that we could do to sort of finish off these drawings. The first things I'm going to tell you is, if you haven't already, this is sort of, you can go back in there and sort of refine the chin on these characters. The chin can be very different on a lot of them. It could be long, it could be sharp, it could be round, it could be short. But kind of shaping those things up a little bit, giving your character a little plastic surgery, if you will, kind of make them a little bit more relaxed looking. Again, you don't want the super long face, even though we do have a kind of elongated look over here. So you might want to judge on a feminine face to have a slightly shorter chin, and on a masculine one have a little bit longer one. And you can see I've kind of touched that up on almost all of them, giving them a variety of different looks. There is no one right, wrong way to draw them, but again, to kind of give it a finished off look. And for those of you, if you're unhappy with the length of the head, or you put the eyes a little too high, taking a little bit off of the chin really makes a difference over there and reshaping it. Now we'll talk a little bit about the ears. And as far as the ears go, on the straight on, the head on one, there's not a lot you need to do. We already see that I've drawn my ears here, and how big should they be? Well, they should fall somewhere around the eyebrows, a little higher, a little lower, and they should be somewhere below the eye, maybe in between the nose and the eye as far as size. You can make them bigger and smaller, but for the ones that we're looking straight on, all you really need to do is add like one more little line in there. That's it. So, there's not a lot of detail work that you need to do with that, but one little line right there to make that other little folded over part of the ear. And that would be a finished face that I have out in the middle. You see a little bit of a hint that I put at on the sides here at like cheekbones. Not necessary. Style choice that you don't have to add to all of them, but I kind of give it a kind of finished look. The 3/4 pose is the one where we're going to see a lot more ear in it. So you might want to decide, hey, I want to make the ears a little bit smaller. Again, ears come in a variety of sizes and shapes. That doesn't mean that they have to all be the same, but for this one, again, I'm going to start by adding a little bit of that extra piece over there. And if you notice what I did, I kind of added, let me get that in focus, I added just another little line over here that kind of closes out almost to the edge over there. We can do a nice little bump in here, and if you want another little line, that's really all you kind of need for the ear. You don't have to do more than that. You can mess around with that. You can, add, earrings if you want, or however, or whatever. That's up to you. But for the drawing of the side of the ear, the 3/4 pose, we don't need too much. I'll do it again on this one over here. Again, I will sort of establish my shape of the ear. I'll clean it up a little bit. I know I got a lot of little extra lines in there, so let me get rid of some of that stuff. And again, it's just a little sort of round shape. And then I'm going to add just one extra line right there to add a little bit of that part of that ear. Got that little bump out that comes out. Put a little line. Yeah, that's all you need. I mean, it really doesn't need more than that. You can play around with it, but an ear is an ear is an ear. You can add a little stud in there if you want, however it goes. If we're working on the profile, same thing goes. This time I'm going to kind of make that little shape, and then I'm just going to have it continue on a little bit. Make that little bump here. Add a little bit more as far as stuff goes, but that would be it. If you want the little earrings, you can add those little things, the little details, make it fun, make it yours. I'll do that again on this side. I got the shape that I originally put out there for the ear. I will make another little line on the outside over here. I'll make my little bump. A little shape over there. Done. Nothing crazy. Now I'll start adding a little bit of the neck. For the profile one, we want to kind of see the back of the head comes in, and then that neck is really going to kind of meet the spinal column, goes right up to the top of the skull. And we got like a little just indent here, and that would be the back of the neck, front of the neck, mattering on if you're doing your character to be a little bit more masculine, a little bit more feminine. There's a lot of options you could do as far as how thick the neck should be, but the front of it should be coming out off the edge over here. The back of it should be sort of built off the base of the skull and coming down this way. You'll see the same thing kind of happen here for this head, but you'll see a little bit of the neck kind of coming in from the base of the head. Probably a little bit more head popping out over here, mattering on the hairstyle. And then again, we want to kind of pick a spot underneath the jaw. Again, we don't want to make some of these necks really, really thick or too thin. When we're looking at the one dead center, looking straight at us, we're going to see our neck kind of attaches like right underneath our ears. But generally the chin, the jawline, and the cheeks, unless you want to draw like a NFL linebacker, are going to probably be a little bit thicker. So we can always make them a little bit thinner than the width of the face. You have a lot of variety on how you want to do that. And again, if it doesn't look right to you, mess around with it and adjust it. All right. I'll do the other profile and my other side view, and we'll go from there, and I'll add just a little bit of that. You see the neck will kind of come out, overlap a little bit of this hair, so I'll erase a little bit. There's the back of the neck. That's all we need over there. And then again, we got the back of the head coming in. I'll go straight down, and that'll be it for my neck. So I've touched up the necks, touched up the ears, got some of my practices up top. These are finished, they're good to go. We are done with these. What I'll do now is I'll do a couple more, a variety of hair for you guys, for those of you who want some more options. I know I only did a couple male haircuts, so I'll do a little bit more that are a little masculine. Again, when we start with the haircut, we want to kind of start with the idea of like what does it look like as a sort of silhouette. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to do sort of a longer hair on top with a little bit of a part. I'll kind of cut a little long on the side here, but then tapers down into sort of a fade. Next part we want to really consider is where is the hairline going to be. And the hairline's different for everybody, but I'm going to kind of try to piece together where that hairline should be. And remember, you want to make sure that you're overlapping over what the skull would be. So in this case, I have this sort of short haircut. It poofs out. You can see how much it pops up off the head, off the skull itself. You can see where I decided to make my hairline. And then in this case, I'm going to do a lot of what I did last time, which was I'm going to make marks that go in the same direction as the hair goes. In this case, the hair is parted right over here. I'm having it sort of pushed over this way. So I'm going to make my first marks, the ones by the hairline, sort of curve towards that side. I'm going to make my hair sort of bend it over here in the part. I'll make it darker near the hairline, darker near the part, maybe just a little bit lighter out along the edges. And then for the fade, I'll kind of start with a little darkness on the top part, and it just gets a little bit lighter as you work your way down. Same thing on this side, I'll have a little bit of hair at the part that's coming out this way. And then there'll be just a little bit lighter as it goes down towards the edges. And we got a little bit of hair there. Eyebrows, again, you can kind of make them a little bit bushier, a little thicker. Again, I'm making my little marks to go in the same direction as the hair would be flowing. So if you're not sure what to do, look in the mirror. Look at the way your hair follows a certain direction, and make sure that when you're doing that, you're doing the same thing on the actual face. We can mess around today, you know what I mean. No requests means I'll just do whatever I want, so I'm going to add some mustaches and beards to these guys. And again, I'm just kind of filling in, you know, and you can make the beard longer or shorter or however you want, judging by the overall shape you want to do. But I'm just kind of filling it in with sort of a short, not too kept beard, kind of like mine. And there's my little touch-ups for the ears, and that's that. We'll go ahead and I'll do a slightly different one on the next one. Let's do, I guess, bigger, more kind of slick back hair. Again, this will be sort of pushed back. I'll kind of think about where does the hairline, where should that hairline be? Get that in focus for you. Okay. What does the hairline do? And then this is going to be long hair that's sort of pushed back, so it's going to be a little bit puffier out in the front and then a little bit more tapered down the back. And then the same thing, I'm just going to kind of make my marks in the same direction, since this hair is going to kind of be going up and back. I'm going to start at the base of where my hairline is and make some of my marks. In this case, I think it'll be like real long, but then where it's sort of like trimmed, like buzzed on the side. So I'll just continue with my marks here, going in that same direction, kind of end the hair off out over here, so it looks a little bit more loose and like flowing strands of hair. And then for this sort of shaved side, maybe I'll leave a little gap in here, and then I can kind of do this a couple different ways. I could do this with a little touch of just dabbing the pencil there. I add a few more marks near the top part of the hair, and then just let that get lighter and lighter as it gets down by the ear. Ear again, I'll give this our basic shape. We'll echo that shape. A little bump. That's all we really need over there. Nothing crazy. I'll add my eyebrows on the side. A little thicker, and I'll just give this guy a really shaped up beard. Let it fade up. There we go. So beard guy. Let's try to do a little something different. What else can I do for you guys today? Alright. Can try a different set of braids even. I'll do my eyebrows. We'll do, braids that are a little bit further apart. So again, I'm gonna kind of try to mark off where the hairline would be. And in this case, I'll sort of lay out where I want my braids to be. I have one in the middle here. I have another one here, and maybe just a tiny one down over there. I'll go ahead with my little circles, partly to kind of give the braid itself a little bit of body. I like the mechanical pencil, but you can obviously do this with a nice sharp point on your own. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of add some of where the hair is pulled back. Just braids that are kind of loose cornrows and they're pulled all the way back. Alright, I'll add the ear, little line, little bump. Alright, ready to go there. Do something a little bit different. We'll just try, I'm going to draw a hijab. And we'll just do like a traditional Muslim scarf over the head. What we'll do is get rid of some of the ears over there. And just put that sort of band around there. And we'll kind of frame around where the scarf is going to be on the face. Alright, so we have that. And we kind of want to think about the silhouette of it. It might pick up off the head a little bit over here. You got to think that it's going to be a little bit bigger than the top of the skull because there is hair under there. So we'll kind of move it around. Again, trying to get a little bit of the silhouette. Since that's covering up a lot, we'll erase a lot of the interior lines that we have in there. And then we'll just kind of bring out that outer shape a little bit more. And then what we need is we basically need a little bit of sort of wrinkles or pulls on the fabric. So how are we going to get that? Well, we will put some tension not on the top of the head, but here on the side, a couple little lines just to kind of say that the fabric's being pulled across. We can create a little bit of a fold over of material. And just think that where it may be a little bit loose around the neck or where you have a little bit more material, you may want to create just a couple of little lines for like folds and creases. So that would be my version of a hijab. And then we'll do what we do for the last one. We'll do a really tight fade. So in this one, the fade will be really short and really dark. So what I'll do is I'll just shape up this head a little bit. I'll identify the real outline that I want for the hairline. So that'll be my edges right there. What I'll do is lighten them up. And really I'll just go pretty dark, just filling in right on the top. One more, hold on 1 second. And then as you go down towards the sides, kind of make it a little bit lighter and lighter. And then if you need a little shape up afterwards, you can always shape it up a little bit with your eraser. Give you a little bit of a different look there. So there's a ton of different options. Had a request? Are you asking a question? Alright guys, so anything goes. You have a lot of examples to look at. You have my examples to look at, and you have everything that was attached to the assignment. So please use those, and please give me a variety of different looks.